Merry Christmas guys, MagentaLion here with another quick review of some booze. Today we'll be looking at Hill's Cider Tropical Sour. Let's get to it. The Hill's Cider has decided to go with some textured cardboard with the packaging of their 4-pack. This one cost me about 23 bucks at my local bottle shop. Let's just pick a can out of there, shall we? I am loving the pink and like cheese colored yellow that they have on the front, but also down the side. It's like, these are this scaly pattern. It's very interesting to look at. So the Tropical Sour is a limited harvest release of crafted by locals. That's what it says on its can. Hill's Cider Tropical Sour. Limited harvest release, crafted by locals. No added sugar, no added concentrates. This is an 8% volume cider. So it would fall into the hard cider category due to that 8% mark. That is 2.4 standard drinks per can. Well and truly enough to put you in a good buzz for the night. Okay. So if you don't know where Adelaide is, it's in South Australia, which is, if you look at Australia, you have New South Wales, Victoria, Queensland, South Australia, Northern Territory, and Western Australia. Ding, 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 ding. I don't know. Anyway, let's see how this South Australian brewed cider goes. It's a hard cider, so maybe necking it won't be a good idea, but we'll see how it goes. If it's enjoyable. That has a very distinctive beer taste. Cloudy cider. Look at it. Very cloudy. You can see the little particulates in it. That's awesome. I haven't had a cloudy cider in a while. I do get distinctive beery notes as well as the apple ones. But yeah, very hopsy underlying tone you're finding in there. I can see why it's strong. It tastes less like a cider and more the way an IPA smells. So if you ever have an Indian Pale Ale, it has a very fruity note to it. This doesn't smell very fruity, but it tastes fruity. But I'm also getting like a beery aftertaste, which is interesting. I'm not hating it, but I'm not loving it either. I don't know if I like this. Like, I'm not getting a tropical sour flavor. Like, I kind of am getting a tropical juice. It definitely tastes like a cider, but the hops aftertaste, you know, that lager aftertaste is in there, and it's a little bit too prominent for me. Yeah, I don't know if I actually like this one. But Adelaide, good on you. This is not a very sweet cider. It's also not a very cidery cider. The sour taste, I'm getting more of a beer sour flavor. I don't really enjoy it. I'd give this a 2 out of 5. I'm not going to rate it a 0 because it's still drinkable and a lot of people would enjoy this. If your friends are beer drinkers and lager likers and they don't want something sweet but they want to try a cider, I would suggest that they look out for the Adelaide Hills cider. It is not a cider guy's cider, but it would be a beer guy's cider. This is, for all intensive purposes, a very appley beer, but not a beer. Like, I don't think they set out and go, we're gonna make a beer and we're gonna trick them and call it an apple beer. This is a cider, but it's a very hopsy cider. I'm not sure why it's a hopsy cider, but they did a thing and they tried, and so I'm gonna neck it to prove that I'm not biased. Totally biased. It's not sweet. I don't like it. Oh. The more bubbly it gets, the more beer it gets. Like, I I don't like this. Oh, do you want to give this a go? Yeah, tell me what notes you pick up.
Right. It just tastes like beer.
It does, right?
With a hint of sour.
It's like a sour beer. It's not a cider. How dare you call this a cider? If you said this was a beer, I would rate this a very nice beer that I would drink at a pub because all my beer mates are like, oh, you gotta have a beer. You know, all the beer fairies out there. But you called this a cider. This is an abomination to cider. I don't like it, but it's cider week, so I'm gonna neck it. This is MagentaLion signing off with this. It's 2 stars. If you see it and you like beer, get it. If you don't like beer, don't get it. I don't know if we're allowed to put negative reviews online. I think it's meant to be a happy place full of unicorns, rainbows, and bunny rabbits that everyone gets on well in some post-needful society where there's post-scarcity and that everything's hunky-dory unless you're in America. But this is terrible cider. This is very beery cider. It's very strong cider, so if you want to get a good buzz, I'm like, you know, go for gold. But this is terrible cider. I don't even want to finish it. If you like beer, get it. If you don't like beer, don't get it. Thanks, guys. Merry Christmas. Have a good one. I don't like this. This is terrible. Thank you. Bye.